Hello everyone, November 15th. All right, let's get right into it. Largest divisible subset. What does that mean? A subset is divisible. Numbers? Integers? Oh, that's a new question. Okay. Given a set of distinct positive integers, return the largest subset answer such that every pair, answer ij, of elements in this subset satisfies I divided by j. I can be divided by j or j divided by I. If there are multiple solutions, return any one of them. Okay. If this 1, 2, so every pair inside need to be divisible by one another, right? And then I also require to return the largest such one. So this one, 1, 2, and 1, 3. 2, 3 is no good. That is the entire thing because everybody is divisible by everybody else. I have 1,000 values. All of them are unique. Okay, so we have a bunch of values, right? Bunch of values. We need to find a subset of them. Such that, well, if everybody is divisible by everybody else, that means they must share a common factor. Well, not only that, it's divisible, right? It's divisible. It's more than just sharing. It feels dynamic programming to me. Let's go bottom up. Let's say length is 1. What do we return if length is 1? By itself? That is an interesting question. I want to see. So what if I have a length of 1? What do I return? An empty set? Probably is empty set because there's no such. Oh, expect is 1. Oh, every pair. It didn't say I is different from j. I can be the same as j. Which means if I do, let's say, 1, 3, 5, they're all co-prime, then we'll return any one of them. 1, 3, or 5, they all work. Nah, they're not co-prime. Let's do 2, 3, 5, right? They are co-prime. Yeah, that just return any one of them will work. Okay, so divisible, which means if I have one value, it's going to be that one value. If I have two values, right? If I have two values, then I'm going to see if they're divisible. Okay. If I have 3 values, so I have 2 values, that's still trivial. We just need to check if they're divisible. Right? So the second value, we need to check if the first one divisible by second or second divisible by the first. And then if it's not, then and what? So every value, hold on, union find. Union find. How about union find? Which means because we are looking for a set that is all divisible, right? Everybody inside is divisible by everybody else. What is the characteristic of this? Well, if a new value, so among these values, there will be a biggest value. So it's divisible. If a new value comes in, how do I decide if that one belongs to this set? Because union find is the mechanics of grouping things together. But we still need the logic, right? Still need the logic. So a new value coming in. Hold on, we only have 1,000, which means O(n) squared might work. So like each value, I'll just go through every value previously to see which one it belongs to. Right, every value comes in, I check. So I say it belongs to this. It can also belongs to this. Hmm. Belongs to. Like if it's divisible, oh, I cannot. It has to check every single value in this group, all right? It's not just for one of them. It has to be everybody in a group. It has to be divisible. How do I check that? So I have a group of numbers and I have a new number coming in. How do I check whether this new number is part of this group? Well, if the group, they gotta be some property in here. If the group contains values that they are all divisible by everybody else, right? So I divisible by you, right? And I divisible by another one, and you two also divisible by each other. What does that mean? Right? What does that mean? That means the largest value will be the small value times something, small value times something, right? And then it has to be all divisible. Well, they must all have a common factor, right? So like if I have a smallest value in there, the smallest value must be divisible by everybody else. So to add to that, I must be divisible by the smaller value, but I also need to be divisible by the slightly bigger one. I need to be divisible by everybody, man. Everybody. Yeah, what does that mean? That means if I sort the set, how do I know? Like I have, let's say I have 1, 2, and 8, right? And everybody is divisible by everybody else. Now 4 comes in. Right, 4 comes in. How do I determine that 4 is part of this set? I mean, I can take 4 and go through every single one and to check. But if there can be an easier way to check. Let me think. Factor, right? Factor. Let's say the factor of 1 to 8, right? We ignore 1. So 1 to 8, the factor in 1 to 8 is 2, right? So any value who can be in this set must be a factor of 2 and 2 only, right? Let's say I have another one. Let's say I have 6. and let's say 24, right? And we have, let's choose another one, 3, right? And 2 is no go. 3, because 3 did not divide 2. So 6, 24, 3. Now they have factor 2, factor and 3, right? It's factor 2 and factor 3. So anyone who needs to be in this need to be a factor of 2 and 3. But 3 is inside. We also have, so we have factor 2 or 3, and they can, if I have a 2, then we have 2 groups, because 2 and 3, they're co-prime, so they cannot exist together in this set. So I can do 6, 24, 3, or 6, 24, 2. Now, if it's 6, 24, 3, then the factor must be 2, 3, and must include 3. Right? It must include 3. No, that's not right. That's not right, because like 18, right? 18 is not part of it, because 18 doesn't divide 24. What is the... Hold on, let's say 2, 3, 6, 20, 2, 3, 6, 18, and 24, right? 2, 3, 6, 18, 24. That will be 2, 6, 18, 24. 3, 6, 18, 24. No, 18 and 24 cannot be together. So 2, 6, 18, or 2, 18, 24. How do we do this? We have 2, 3. These will have their own group, right? 3 will have own group. Now 6 coming in. 6 is 2 times 3. So I can go to the 2 group. I can go to the 3 group. Okay. 18, we factor it. That's 2 times. Oh, we're gonna factor every single one. 2 times 10 to the 9th. Jeez. So 2 times 3 times 3, right? So that's my factor, 2 times 3 times 3. How do I know if any of those can include me? Well, it has a factor of, what I can do is, I have the group is a 2, 6 group, 3, 6 group, right? So every new value, I just go through every group. But then if I go through every group, I have to check every single. Because if I sort the original value, then the new value coming in must be bigger than everything inside. So all I need to do is to compare to the largest one. Is that what you're saying? Divide the largest one. Because this can be divided by, right? If the current largest, right, that one can divide everybody else inside the set. Right? If the current large one can divide everybody inside, and I can divide the current largest one. So I equals current largest one times something. So I must divide everybody else. So the new value only needs to divide the largest value in all the sets. If I can divide that, then it's guaranteed I can divide everybody else. Okay? So now I have set that is 2, 6, and 3, 6. Right? Now 18 comes in. 18 comes in, I can divide both, so I can add to it. Right? I can add to it. I'm going to grow the set. Well, what if I cannot divide? 24 comes in now. 24 divide 18 cannot divide. So I try the second largest one, which is 6, right? and then I create a new set. It's going to be 2, 6, 24. And the next one's also, we'll create the next one is 3, 6, 24. Oh. So we have 4 different sets. How do I create a new one? New set by copying it and then, wow, this feels, what's the worst case scenario? Worst case scenario will be we have lots, every single one is by itself, right? Every single one is by itself. So like if I cannot divide the largest, I go for the previous one. Cannot divide, go for the previous, until we find someone that I can divide, and that will create a new set. Okay, this might work, but I fear this might time out. Doesn't feel fast at all. All right, hold on, I'll be back. All right, let's try this. I feel slow, feel very slow. But given that we only have 1,000, maybe this one will work. And there's no union finding this. But can we do union finding this? We don't. How do we union? Hold on, mate. How do we union? We need to find, like, if each set is a list, right, from small to large, what we need to find is the largest value in each current set that's divisible by me. Is it possible for me to not search one by one, but just go right into it? I mean, that requires me to factor, right? To find all the factors of my current value. How do I find all my factors? Well, we can do, we can factor. We can factor, but what I need is not really factor, like individual factor. What I need is the actual value, right? The actual value. Maybe it is easier just to go through the list, you know. All right. Anyway, so here is the deal. So what we're gonna have is we're gonna have a list of sets. So we call it sets, all right? So sets is actually not set. Oh, first of all, nums.sort. I'm gonna sort it. Now sets is a set of all possible subset, all right? And we're gonna go through, say for n in nums, right? For each n, we are going to go through sets and see if, so we're gonna say for n in this and for s in sets, right? And do I create my, no, I don't have to create, do I have to create myself by myself, a new set only containing me? Well, that's not really, because if I can fit into one of the sets, then it's fine. Then it's fine. I don't have to create anything by myself. Therefore, for S-ing sets, right? And then, I will extending set. That's not what we want, right? That's not what we want. What we want, we're gonna do I equals 0. And okay. It's like a queue, right? It's like a queue. So we say temp is this. Let's call it queue then. Temp is this. Then for S in queue, it's a set. And we say if while, I'm gonna go from back to the front, right? If it's not divisible, if nothing is divisible, right? If nothing is divisible, then we will add. Okay, hold on. So S will be added back to temp. Well, if S is going to add back to temp, I just extend Q, right? No, I don't like this one. Sets. We're gonna go length set. Spell it wrong. Set. Say length sets equals length sets current length. And we say I equals 0, right? And we say, actually just go for I in range to length sets, right? Then S equals sets I, right? Now I have the set. Now I'm going to go from the back to the front, find the first one that n can divide. And that will indicate where we can create a new set. Right? We can create a new set. So what do we say? We say j equals len s minus 1. So while j is smaller, while j is larger equal to 0, and then say if n divides s j, right? If it divides equal to 0, then we're gonna break, right? And else, which means if it divides, you know what? J minus equal 1, right? If not, so we're gonna check J. Right? We're gonna check J. So if J is larger or equal to 0, that means we found something that does divide. If we find something that does divide, then we can say sets dot append, right? Append what? S to j plus 1. So we include that value and plus n. That's the new set, right? If j is smaller, which is negative, which means nothing in this set can divide me. So in that case, I wait, right? And I wait for the next one. I wait for the next one, blah, 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 until the end. Right? So we check every single one in the set, and we create a new sets. Right? We create a new sets, push it back, and at the end, we need to see if, let's say, len sets is equal to len sets. That means nothing gets added, which means I, the new value, does not divide any of the previous set. Any value in the previous set, nada. So if that's the case, then sets dot append just myself. Then I go up, we try the next one, right? Now once we're done, once we're done, we need to check just go through sets and return the one with the largest length, right? So we say max length equals 0, and res equals I don't know what. Then we say for s in sets if len s. Oh, that's stupid. I think we can just, oh, that will be O and log n. I don't like it, but that's fine. Larger than this, then max len equals len s, and the res equals s. So at the end, we return the res. Yeah, that feels stupid though. But let's try. I think it's correct, but what I don't know is how fast it can be. All right, it feels not fast enough. But hey, what do I know? All right, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 will return 1, 2. I think the one we do is we will return the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4, 8. Will return 1, 2, 4, 8. And I have another test case that I was analyzing earlier, which is 2, 3, 6, 18, and 24. This one, I think, in my case, I'll return 2, 6, 18. I might not. That's one of the largest of this nums. It passed me. Let's see. This feels like a naive approach, so I'm not sure. All right, let's do 6. All right, 18, 24, 36, 48. I don't know, just randomly put some number there. How about 72? About 81? Let's see. Let's see if it times out. It times out. So slow. So slow. So slow. Yeah, I think it times out. Yep. Not even that big. All right, that's fine. That's fine. It times out. All right, we have prepared, right? That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so where can we improve? Well, the thing is, the number of sets just kept growing, right? It kept growing. I think we need to factor, right? Factoring is fast. Okay, let's say we factor every number, right? Every number comes in, I factor it. So I know all the factors. Let's say 72, right? 72 is what? Is 8 times 9, right? 8 times 9. So actually, when we factor, we go prime number. So I actually need a prime list. Do I have a prime list? The largest value is 2 times 10 to the 9th, right? So 2 times 10 to the 9th. So the largest prime number I need is 2 times 10 to the 9th and do square root. So it's only 44721. So I just need to find 44722. Let's say 22. So I just need to find a prime number that is smaller than 44722. Then I can factor every single one of them. Okay, so after factor, 72 will be 2 to the 3rd times 3 to the second. Now what? Now what? Well. Now, how about like what? How do I factor 72? I want every single factor, right? Not just the prime factor. I want every single factor. So given 72, so I do 2. So remaining is 36. Okay. So I do 2 again, right? I do 2 again. So now my factor is 2 and 4, right? And the remaining is 18. I do 2 again, so remaining is 8, right? And the factor is 8. Now I have 9 left, so I cannot do 2, so I do 3. So I can do a 3. So I have to go 3, right? 3. And 6, 12, 24. And I have 3 again. Well, 3 is already there. And then 9, 18, 36, 72. So these are all the factors which can be done in Can we like do this faster? So like 2 to the third, right? I can find out it's 2 to the third, and I can find out it's 3 to the second. So I will be like all the prime factors, right? And then for each prime factor, I can create all of them. So one has to be, so 2 to the third, we have 2, 4, 8. 3 to the second, we have 3 and 9. And then it's just pairwise, right? Pairwise. So 1 is by itself. We don't have to consider. So 2, 4, 8, that's 3. 3, 9, that's 2. So I have 6 more, which is 2 times 3, 3 times 4, 3 times 8, and 2 times 9, 4 times 9, and 8 times 9. 72. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 12 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so that is possible. But with 2, well, if we have more than 2 factors, like we have 2 to the something, 3 to the something, 5 to the something, 7 to the something, how do we navigate that? That is a question. How do we navigate that? Okay, so we can get all the 2s, all the 3s, all the 5s, all the 7s. Then what? Like seriously, then what? We'll pick 1 from every one, combine them together to find a value. That will be a factor. And then I need to check on the list to see if this factor is in any set. Or each set contains, will get the largest value out of each set. The largest value of each set. Largest value of each set. I am stuck. I think we have to factor, right? I think we have to factor. What does the factor do? Well, the factor will tell us which one it can be divided by, right? So if I have a bunch of sets, and each set displays, yeah, let's say I have a bunch of sets, right? So now the question is, which one I shall add to, right? Which one I shall add to. Or maybe hold on. 1,000 numbers. Let's say I want to group all the numbers with factor 2 together. So that's the first round, right? So I have all the numbers with factor 2, all the numbers with factor 3. Then I'm sure that the set will contain within these sets, right? All the factor 2s and all the factor 3s. They all contain 2, or they all contain 3. So it's a likelihood that they're gonna, it's impossible for a 2-factor, so I have a 2-factor set, a 3-factor set. It's impossible to have it's impossible that some value that's not existing in the 2-factor set, right, to be included in a 2-factor set for the final required set. Yeah, because everybody inside, only the numbers that have factor 2 have the potential to be divisible by each other. If a value does not have a factor 2, that will not be in that set. Okay, so that's the first level of division. So we have factor 2s, right, and factor 3s. So we just go through. So we create, right? We create a. Let's say we create a list of prime numbers, right? A list of prime numbers, and then for each value, I will go through, let's say, factor 2. Are you factor 2? So come to me to factor 2. Are you factor 3? Come to factor 3. So I can build, or like every value. But in that case, every value I can, I can factor myself. So every value I'll factor myself, and after I factor myself, I'll put myself into one of the factors, one of the things. Okay? So I say factor 2, I have a bunch of values. Factor 3, I have a bunch of values. Factor 5, probably nothing. And then we go all the way to a prime number that is smaller or equal to the largest number square root, right? And then we're done. And most will have 44,000, right? I'll be 44,000. But not all of them will be inside, right? So because some prime numbers will not be hit. So anyway, so we're gonna get these, I'd say this first level, right? Because every factors are co-prime. Now the second level is within each, right? Let's say within factor of 2, I'll do the same thing. But now I'll check for factor 3, right? Okay. Within them, I'll check for factor 3. So these will be divisible all by 6. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. We check for that, so what? It's like all of them has a factor. All of them have a factor 2, right? Okay. Oh, and after that, why don't we just divide it by 2? Yeah, that's how we remove the factor. We divide it by 2. Okay, so every value, I'll divide by 2, put in the factor 2. I'll divide by 3, put in factor 3, and divide by whatever, right? So we put in these, and then the next round, it's just turning to, so we're shrinking the size of the value, right? So instead of 1,000 number to start with, the factor 2 probably only has, let's say, maybe 500 of them. Factor 3, maybe like 10. And then within them, we keep doing the exact same thing, right? So within factor 2, then we do again. We say, okay, let's do factor 2. So we divide by factor 2. Not sure. I want an example. Let's do the example 2, 3, 6, 18, 24, 36, 48, 72, and 81. So I say the first round I need to find everything that is a factor of 2. So what I get is, and I also divide it by 2. So we have 1, 3, 9, 12, 18, 24, 36, right? So these are factor of 2. And now what? I'm going to find, now we have a 1. So now what? I want to try to find divisible by 2 again. Okay, so that's like first level by 2. So that's the start. And then we say divide by 2. And I say by 2 again. So these will be divisible by 4, right? And then that gives us 6, 9, 12, and 18. And divided by 2 again, give us 3, 6, 9, divided by 2 again, give us 3. So that's it. So this route going down, so we know that we have 4 numbers that are divisible by 4. But we don't know like how they divide within themselves. No, we know. Wait, what do we know? No, we just know they're divisible by 4. But we don't know if they can divide each other. I feel this is the right way, but I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble putting that down. So if everybody needs to divide, right? Well, if anybody needs to divide, then they must share at least one. They must share a factor. Right? They must share a factor. So I say now, okay, I make a factor is 2, so they all share factor 2, right? And what will happen to these values? Right? What is actually happening to these values? They all share a factor of 6. And they all share a factor of 18. And they share a factor of 32. What does that mean? that means yeah, because what I know is if 72 can divide by 36, it can divide by everybody else, right? But that's not how I was trying to go for. What happens if we divide by 2 in this group? That would give us 1, 3, 9, 18, and 36, right? And they all divided by 3 again. They can all be divided by 3, which is understandable because 6 is the smallest in addition to 2. So if we divide it by 3, divide by 2 again. But what are these? By 2 is 4. So we have some value divided by 4, 24 divided by 4, 36 divided by 4, but they do not divide each other. They do not divide each other. So are you saying every level something needs to be turned into 0, turned into 1 for this to work? Because if somebody turns into 1, that means that factor is shared. That number is shared by everybody. Okay, so I can divide by 2, and I have a 1. Okay, so now I have a 1. Now I look at my next value is 3. So I say I divide by 3. Okay, hold on. Say I divide by 3. The next one, divide by 3. And if it's 1, we keep a 1. Oh, actually, if it's 1, we should not keep 1. 1 will be dropped. So it'll be 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, and 12. So I divide by 3 again. Give us 1, 2, and 4. And 1, 2, 4 is everybody divides everybody else. How do I know that? I divide by 2. Give us 1, 2. And divide by 2 again. Give me 1. Okay? So everybody is divided by everybody else if I divide. It's like if every division I lose only 1, right? Every division I lose 1 value. That's the 1 at the front. Then that means okay, all of these values share the factor, right? And if I divide it by it again, and I lose 1, so the remaining all share the factor. What does this mean? Well, this means, so I divide by this, I got 2 values. And divide by it again, I got 1, right? And that's the end. And I go back. So I know when divide by 3, there's 1, 2, 4. These divide each other. Yeah, 1, 2, 4, they divide each other. So these 1, 2, 4 will be held. I'm going to go back up. So that's going to give us 3, 6, 12. And our obligatory get a 1. And our times 3 again give us 3, 9, 12, 18. And 36, obligatory get a 1. And get a 2. So eventually we get 2, 6, 18, 36, 72. What is this? So I peel, right? We peel off one factor, we peel off another factor. So every time we peel off a factor, but as we peel off a factor, we also remove a value. Right? We also remove a value. But why do you remove a small value? Like, why don't I do division by I can just keep do 2, right? I can do 2. 6, 9, 12, do 2, 3, 6, 9, do 2, and eventually we get on to 3, right? We get on to 3, and then we cannot go down anymore. And we go back. Times 2 is going to 6. So that's just one value. I don't feel it's right. Let's do it again. So eventually we're going to have a set, right? And the set will have a small value, will have a big value, and other values in between. Now, since everybody divides everybody else, so the small value must be divided by everybody else, right? Therefore, we can say what will be the small value. So I say, okay, how about we do 2 as the smallest value? We find a small value inside this. Small value, I say I have 2, right? I say, okay, I say if 2 is the smallest value, what is the largest set I can get, right? And then if I can find this largest set, then we move on to the next one. If the next one is inside, then we don't do it again. If the next one is not inside, then we try it again. Okay, so let's say if 2 is the smallest value, and then everybody else must be divided by 2. So I got this 3, 9, 12, 18, 24, 36. So these are the ones that divided by 2. So these are the possible ones to be inside, right? But now 2 is the smallest value. I already eliminated. So what would be the next small value? Let's say 3. We take 3 is the next smallest value. So everybody has to fit into 3, right? So then we divide by 3. So we got 3, 4, 6, 8, 12. No, they're all here. So now it's a factor of 6. So among 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, let's say the next factor is going to be 3. So we're going to have 1, 2, and 4. No, it's going to be 2 and 4. And the next factor is going to be 2. Going to give us. Hold on. If I have 2, I want to find what will be the largest set that include 2. So basically, we need to find the remaining values, right? So from remaining values, and we need to find the largest divisible set. This is how, if I find that, I can add 2 to it. Okay? Okay. And then once it's done, I'm going to move on to 3. Alright? And say, what will be the largest set including 3? But excluding 2, because I already included 2. Okay. I can have indices, so I can find the largest divisible set among these. Once I find it among these, then I can add 2 to it with a factor 2, right? Then I can add 2 to it. Okay. So the largest with a factor, right? With a factor 2. So to do that, we're going to eliminate the one that does not have factor 2. So we got this, right? And then we're going to do this. Find factor. Right, find a factor 2, find a factor 3. Hold on, let me think again. If I have 2, I have 3, right, and then I have 6, then I don't have to, because I say I already find the largest set, right, all divisible, right, including 2. And 6 is a factor of 2. It might be inside, it might not be inside. If 6 is not inside, right, if a value is not inside, so you are not inside the set that includes your factor. Let's say I can I find a set? Let's say I have a set with 2, right? And I find a new value that's divisible by 2. And I say I can find a bigger set with that, but it will not be bigger because if I can find a bigger set with 6, right, let's say this one is larger, then I can always put 2 into it, and that becomes so yeah, so like everyone if it's divisible by right? 2, then the remaining, right? When you find the remaining that are divisible within each other. Also has a factor of 2. Okay. And within the remaining divisible by 2, and we're going to find all the values in it that can do this trick like with each other. So when I divide by 2, I have this number, and right, and what? I have these values, and we just need to find. So 1 can be divisible by anybody. So I can always take 1. So 1 is definitely in there. We don't have to worry about. So we'll worry about the next one. 3. Okay. So about 3. So when I take the remainder, find the factor, find the one that can reduce 3. And then this one give us this much, right? Give us this much divided by 3, right? So what we're saying is I want to find everyone inside here that can be divisible by 3, so I can be included. Okay, so within this, I will do again everything that can divide by 3. So this one will give us this, right? And everybody can divisible by 1. I don't consider, so I can divide by 2. I got this, and that's a single value, and we're done, right? Give us now we have single value, so we're done. So when I return single value, that means they are all divisible by each other. So I return, and then that will be 4, and then these things will return, right? And then we'll add whatever value, and return. So now we get a value. Well, I mean, we get a value because I want to know the largest I have, right? I can actually keep going and move on to the 4, but 4 is divisible by the small one. I think like current factor I checked is 2, and then a new factor I can check it's divisible by the previous factor, so I don't do it again. So now back in here, which means if I take 3, I will get 3. Well, actually only 2, 4. So 2 values. 2 values. I just okay. So I have 3, 6, and 12. All right. Now I'm going to try 4. Let's see if there's anything related to 4. Well, with 4, I say 4 is not divisible by the previous factor, right? So it's that case I didn't do, so I do 4. 4 I get 2 or 3. So I return, I say, okay, 2 or 3, I can only return 1. So 4 will give us 2. But I want to have 2, so that's not good. Now next one is 6, right? I look at previous one, I did 3, I did 4. I did 3, 6 divisible by 3, so we don't do it. 8, I did 4 already, so we don't do it. And 12, don't do it. So that's it. So at this level, we have 3, 6, 12. And we'll return, because I'll have 1. So when we return, we have 3, 9, 18, and 36. Right? Actually, it's no 1. 1 does not exist. So back in here, I have 3, 9, 18, 36. Okay? So 3, 9, 18, 36. That's we based on the factor 3. So next, we'll look at 9. We've done it already. Now we'll look at 12. Done it already. 18. Done it already. 24. Done it already. 36. Nothing. We don't have to do anything. So return back to the previous level, which now we have 6, 18, 36, 72 with 2. So that's our new set. Now next, we'll look at 3, right? And 3 is not divisible by 2, by the smallest factor, right? It's not divisible by the smallest factor. So I say, I'm going to do it. I need to check 3. Okay, so we check 3 the same way. So we check 3. Remaining value will be divided by 3. So I have 2, 6, 8, 12. No, not 12, 8. 12. Is it 12? Come on. 2, 8, 16, and 24, and 36. No, 27. All right, so that is the 3 factor. So we got this. Okay, so we check the smallest one. Smallest one is 2, so I say I'll go with 2 factor, which give us 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, nothing. And then this one, we check a 3 factor. 3 factor will give us, if we do 3 factor, will give us 2 and 4. Right, now we go 2. 2 values, 2, 4, they divide. So now we can go back. 2, 4 go back. So we have the set is 3, 6, 12. Right? 3, 6, 12. Okay. Now we look at the next one. 4, not divisible by 3. And also, yeah. So 4, not divisible by 3. Okay. So I want to do 4 by itself. So we can do 4. Alright, so we can do 4. And the remaining will be 2 and 3. So I'm going to take 1. So either 4, 2 or 4, 3, which comes up to 4, 8. Yeah, just do 4, 8. But it's not bigger than the previous one, so this one gets discarded. So now 6 divisible by 3. 8 divisible by 4. So we checked it already, so I don't have to check again. 12 also divisible, but actually we don't have to check anymore because it's smaller than the set. So, okay, so this level will go back to 3, 6, 12, right? So we have 3, 6, 12, which is divided by 2, so we have to go back. So that's when we have 2, 6, 12, and 24. So with 2, 6, 12, 24, right? And then we check the next one, 6. 6, we've done it already. 8, done it already. 12, 6, 24. The only thing not done is 27, but we don't have to do it, right? Because the total number is 4, so we can end it early. So now we go back to the first level. The first level is times 3, right? So 3, 6, 18, 36, and 72. That's the other result, right? Okay, so now we do 2, we do 3. Next is 6, but we've done already. 18, done already. 24, done already. 36, actually we don't have to do because the remaining value is not that much, so that's it. Maybe, I'll try it. If it still doesn't work, we are going to check the result. Maybe, right? Maybe. It feels right to me. Oh, right. Wrong button. All right, let's. Wait, which one did we fail? Well, actually, I have to do it. Let's see how this one goes. All right. Oh wow, it times out on this one too. Jeez. How many did we pass? Yeah, timeout. All right, so this is the new scheme, right? The new scheme. We just need to find the largest divisible subset, all right? So, DFS feels like DFS to me. So we're gonna have, oh shoot, we're gonna pass numbers. But 1,000, yeah, let's just suck it up. We're gonna pass. So nums again. Let's do underscore. No, it's fine. Nums, right? And yeah, that's it, nums. And I'm gonna return, all right, return a list of nums. So when we have nums, hold on, let me check. Oh, we only passed half of it. Jeez, that's way worse than I had expected. So that's right, and well, first of all, we're gonna go for the smallest, right? We're gonna check the smallest. So we're gonna say factors that we have checked is this. We don't know. And then for n in nums, right? So n is the first factor we're gonna check. We're gonna do is we're gonna obtain, right? Obtain the set, right? So the s will equal to DFS nums, but nums divided by n. So that's gonna be v, right? V divided by n for v in nums. For v in it's not nums. Let's do I in enumerate. Enumerate nums. So v for v in nums I plus 1, right, to the end, if v is divisible by n, right? So DFS this will give me a set, right? They give me a set, and now I need to check if so res, right? We'll have a res. So set, we're gonna say if len s plus 1 is larger than len res, then res equals to n plus s, right? And once we're done, factors dot append, right? We're going to append s. No, n. N is the factor. So we add n, and I go for the next one. But every time we have to check the factors, right? We say if any, right, for f in factors, and n divided by mod f equals 0 if it's divisible, right? If any factor is true, then we're going to continue, right? We're going to continue. Only when it's not, then we are going to do this, factor out. So eventually, this we're going to just return, right? Oh, hold on. That is not going to be s. That is actually going to be, we have to rehydrate, right? Rehydrate the factor n. So it will be n times, geez, can I use v again? Yes, I can use v again. N times v for v in s. All right. Yeah. Yeah, that's the new result. And then at the end, we're gonna return the rest. Okay. How about if let's if landnums equals 2, right? That's the edge case. If landnums equals 2, well, what if it equals 1? If landnums equals 2, return nums, right? If nums 1, nums 0 is divisible, else we just return the first one. What if there's a 1? If it's 1, say if landnums equals 1, then just return nums. Right? Well, if landnums is smaller equal to, because I do this, that could be an empty set. Yeah, I don't need this, right? I don't need this. I don't need this. So if landnums is smaller equal to 1, then I just return it by itself. Okay, that's DFS. How do we call it? Well, nums.sort for sure at the start. And then we're going to call DFS nums. Actually, we're going to return DFS nums. Oh. Nope. That is terrible. Alright. Alrighty. Okay, let's do this. So we pass nums in, right? I pass nums in, and len is 3, so I do this. I and nums if for f now there's nothing, so I'll keep doing this because there's no factors, right? So I don't do this, I'll do this. So s is going to be DFS. I is 0, so for these two, right? If v divided by n, v divided by v mod n, yeah, it can mod. So s. So actually, let's print nums to see what we have. Oh, that's. Hold on. Just in case, right? I'm not 100% sure, but just in case. So nums, put underscore. Okay. All right, that's fine. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then the second level is nothing. Oh, equals 0. That is a shit. That is where the things go wrong. All right, so the first one pass. Okay, now they all pass. And then tell me this one will time out again. Then I'm going to lose my cool. Come on. Oh, this one's good. I'll try it. Booyah! Oh, took so long. All right. Here we go, 500 days. I'm going to take a screenshot. Let's see if I have the screenshot. Yep, I got a screenshot. 500 days. This is pretty hard, but we did pretty well eventually. So, what is the solution? So, I don't know how to explain. I really don't know how to explain. So, okay, I'm gonna put LeetCode first, and I don't know time complexity, but I do know we hit 240 milliseconds, right? 95% ranking. Oh. Okay, so this is 368. Equal 368. All right. So the idea is I sort nums first, right? Then I say, then I want to find the largest subset, largest divisible subset that includes the smallest value in the current nums, right? To do that, I go through the remainder. I go through nums except the first one, and build a new array that includes numbers divisible. Okay, let's do this. I want to find the largest subset that includes nums 0. How about that? To that, I go through nums 1 to the end and include only values that are divisible by nums 0. I then divide each such value by nums 0 to create a new array. Nums prime, right? Nums prime. Aha, new array nums underscore. I then run the same function. It's the same logic on nums this. So eventually, I obtain the largest. I then run some logic on nums this to obtain the largest divisible subset from nums this, and this subset must also divide nums 0, right? So the largest subset that includes nums 0 is this subset must also divide nums 0. Thus, we can add nums 0 to it to produce the largest subset that includes nums 0. Okay. Then we move on to nums 1. However, the trick is that if nums 1 is divisible by nums 0, we don't have to check nums 1 again, because any divisible subset that includes nums 1 must be smaller than the divisible subset that includes nums 0. This can be proved This can be proved by contradiction. If the divisible subset that includes nums1 is larger than that of nums0, since nums1 is divisible by nums0 and nums0 is smaller than nums1, then nums0 can also be added to the divisible subset of nums1. Thus, the divisible subset of nums1 becomes the divisible subset of nums0, right? This means the divisible subset of nums0 must always be larger than that of nums1. Right. So then we follow this, right? We follow this, and then we're done. So continue. So continue on this. We will only check the number that is not divisible by any factors that have been checked so far. And that's it. Runtime, I have no clue. Time complexity, no clue. Time complexity, well, I mean, oh yeah, that depends, right? So the first one will handle, and it's divisible, then we don't do it. It's divisible, and we don't do it. So my O(n) squared, at least, because each level we have to do, like worst case scenario, we have to do each. So I say time complexity worst scenario. O(n) squared log n? I don't know. Time complexity. Don't know. Not sure. Yeah, the recursion always give me a hard time. All right. Oof. Let's take a look at the smart people. All right, what do you smart people do? Okay, also, I want to check. Let's check how the general. Generally, how other people do this. Let's go to submission. Let's see the time. The spread. This must be some like generic. Okay. Longest increasing subsequence. We use longest increasing subsequence. 4 lines in Python. Jeez, Mr. Pachman. dp(O(n) squared. Okay, let's check this. He always has a very good brute force. Of course, brute forces fail. Memorization. O(n) squared. O(n) squared. So it's O(n) squared. Is the largest subset with X is the largest element. transit a multiple x or something. Oh, I can do this. Max has a value. Oh, like for this. For x in sorted, key equals length. SD for D in S, if x is divisible by D, if x is divisible by D, S D so maximum of this or x. I think I know what he's doing. Yeah, you only need to divisible by the largest. That's true, right? So we sort it, and when you go through, these are the largest factors, right? These are the largest factors. We go through this, and for every one we check if it's good, right? If it's divisible, then this is the now largest factor will equal to, so we'll go to the maximum of this or the current one. That'll be the new one. Oh, so good. So good. Man, how fast is this one? Wow, this one's amazing. Amazing. But we do store everything. But hold on, we only store the largest. The key is the largest, right? So every time we have a new value coming out, will always be larger than the previous one. So we go through this list. We go through this list to find which factor that I can divide, right? If I can divide, and we need to find the maximum of those. And once I find the maximum of those, I add myself to it and update. Oh, so good. So good. Yeah, the space complexity is terrible, but oof, so good. So good. All right, I'm going to implement this. And I want to call it a day, as it's kind of late. But I'll have to go through all this. Yeah, it's just have to. Just they wrote such a good thing, right? You gotta go through all this. But anyway, this is an interesting solution. Very interesting solution. So interesting solution from Mr. Bachman. Yeah, that's the difference between a mediocre person and a god level person. Mr. Bachman. Yeah, not even the same league. All right, that's the difference between us. We aspire to be like him, but no, we cannot. Okay, okie dokie. What do? We need to do a. Why do we use a set? Right? We don't need to use a set. We can just use the list. So I'll say a map. Oh, map. Can I use map? What do I say? Hash map. Hash map. I just call S. I do need something in there because otherwise the max will return wrong, right? So I say for number in sorted num. Oh, I can say one more line. I just realized. I can say one more line. Sorted and nums. Right. So for n in sorted nums, we say we want to find a maximum that's currently have it. Like so the key, right? Key is the largest value in is the largest in a divisible set subset. Value is the subset. That is the thing, right? So for n in num, so we need to go check the maximum of s, right? That, so when I say for d in s, if d divisible by n, right? If s can be divided, then I will say sd, right? So that is that's a valid subset, a valid subset. The intuition, we actually had this intuition, right? The intuition is the same as solution 1, where if a value is divisible by the largest of a divisible subset, then the value is also a member. Now then the value can divide everything. The value can divide everything, everyone in the divisible subset. Right. That is, the value can be added to the subset. So when you take the maximum of this with key equals len, that's a good trick, and we're using plus x, right? And then we're going to assign sx equal to this, right? Yeah, if nothing is divisible, it will be by itself. If it's something divisible, we shall remove d, right? And this thing grows. Hold on. Maybe it won't pass now. Sx. We shall be able to remove d. Oh wait, we cannot remove d. We cannot. Right, then we're gonna return max sd for d in s, key equals len. I'm not sure. This one might, anyway, this might time out. So, must be parenthesized. Name x is not defined. That's n. Name x is not defined. I have another x. Jeez, n. Max argument is an empty sequence. How? Oh, it's an empty sequence. Or I cannot do. That's what. Oh wow, he did think of everything. It has to be a set, because I can do or on a set, and I cannot do or on But still. Wait, how did you do it? Max for the if, yeah, I'm doing exactly the same thing. I'm doing the same thing, but for D and S, if this equals 0, and I OR this value. And it tell me max is an empty sequence. Oh, -1. Maybe it's Python 2 and Python 3. Say 2 divided mod -1. Yeah, that is 0. What the hell? For D and S? Oh, shoot. N. Now in that case, I think maybe I can use plus. Maybe this one. And this, yeah. S dot values. I don't know what I was thinking. And list it. It's much faster than this. All right. Okay, let's try it. Maybe it times out. Oh no, no, it does not. Oh, it was fast. It was very fast. It's faster than my way. I do check the largest, but I check the largest. Yeah, I should just check the largest. If it's not good, then I just check the new one. All right, that will be it. I'll have to keep reading this, but that will be it for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Adios.